hardly ever.
Boxers fought for the World Flyweight Championship. In 1949, it was Rinty Monaghan versus Terry Allen. Now, in 1989, it's the meeting of the Macs, McKenzie versus McAuley. Challenger comes first. And Dave McAuley has brought quite a little army of fans from Northern Ireland. The challenge is in the ring, and now the entrance of the champion. Beating rock rhythm brings McKenzie to the ring. Little man, well, he may be a little man in stature, but he's a big man in terms of world boxing. Duke McKenzie from Croydon in Surrey. Second defense of the title he won 8 months ago against Rolando Bohol of the Philippines. And this man, McAuley, fighting for the third time in an attempt to win the world title. Twice previously, he's come unstuck against Fidel Bassett, who's still the WBA champion. But in their first fight in Belfast, he came so close to beating Bassett. It was remarkable. It was one of the best fights I've ever seen. And this man came amazingly close to winning it. How much effect it had on him that in the end he lost, I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the principal contest of the evening. Nicky Duff and Cariolis Promotions are proud to present 12 3-minute rounds of boxing for the International Boxing Federation Flyweight Championship of the World. And introducing to you in the red corner, the IBF Flyweight Champion of the World from Croydon to the McKenzie.
time that I can remember. All the officials come from the United States of America. The referee, ex-boxer Randy Newman. And this is all the makings of a grudge fight. McAuley has been saying some rough things about McKenzie in the build-up to the fight, and there could be quite a bit of needle here. 12 rounds, if it goes that far. And McAuley, known to be a dangerous puncher, and McKenzie will need to watch himself in these opening minutes. I just don't think McKenzie is a worthy world champion. I'll swarm all over him, I'll destroy him, I'll win between the 7th and the 10th. All these things McAuley has said in the last few weeks. Now in this Wembley Arena ring, he has to prove it. Some of the strappings from his foul-proof cup hanging down below the legs of his trunks. McAuley. McKenzie, the champion, dark skin, lime green trunks. McAuley's face showing signs of hard sparring. 1 or 2 bumps around the eyes, well greased. He's had 1 or 2 wars in the build-up to this. Definitely looking quite ominous with the looping right hand over the top. And these are exactly the danger moments that McKenzie had to prepare for. For the first time, perhaps, in his life, McKenzie doesn't outreach his opponent. 2 very tall flyweights. McKenzie is 5'7", and McAuley is half an inch taller than that. Now, this is a good start by McAuley. He's come to prove his point.
I'll pull his head down, I'll pull his head.
Well, McKenzie knew that he had to cover up in these opening few rounds, and there were all the danger signs there from McAuley, who was determined to come out fighting, and certainly did that. And 1 or 2 punches thrown there looked quite ominous at times. McKenzie has a 100% professional record. Some of those fights took place in the United States. He had 5 in the early part of his career in the States. Stopped his opponent every time. So here's a little of the action from the first round, with McAuley very much on the attack. A little wild, but forcing McKenzie to duck and cover up. So it could well be that McAuley has taken the early points. coming up to his 28th birthday. He'll be 28 in 8 days' time. McAuley's problem, of course, is that he hasn't had a fight since March last year, the second fight with Fidel Bassa. There's some marks around the left eye of McAuley, which is even as though he might be very slightly cut there. No, maybe not, but it's quite red. And there's a bit of a swelling coming up underneath that left eye as well. This is the challenge of McAuley. Seeing that is certainly going to encourage the champion. Well, you can see the reddened eye and the swelling coming up underneath. McAuley himself has felt it, and it slightly discouraged him. He's not quite the attacking fighter he was in the first round. Telling McAuley to keep him up. Big attack by McAuley again. McKenzie looks cool, trying to keep calm under pressure. And the left eye looks even redder on McAuley's face. McAuley seeking with that left hand downstairs, trying to prize it into the ribs of the champion. Certainly McAuley is carrying the fight to the champion. There's certainly no love lost between these two. McAuley goes back, and that eye of his certainly looks in some trouble. Eddie Shaw, work on it. It is, I think, grazed underneath the eyebrow. Well, McAuley's lost just 2 fights, and both of those were to the world champion, the WBA champion, Fidel Bassa. Well, McAuley started the round quietly when I think he felt the left eye in trouble, and then he woke up. And when he woke up, he began to drive McKenzie around the ring. These are good attacks, and there was a moment there when McKenzie looked a little bit discomforted. Well, it's a good start by the challenger. He's had 2 good rounds, and he's really taken the player away from McKenzie over the opening 6 minutes. But his problem is going to be to protect the left eye. Stumble. Again, those punches claw into the face of McKenzie. McKenzie's, I think, finding a problem here with the height and reach of McAuley. He's not used to meeting men as tall or taller than he is. Mind you, say the same thing about McAuley. Better attack by McKenzie. McKenzie going in with his head down quite frequently. That might be how the left eye trouble came about. Ducking too low.
All right, let him out of there.
very well that this is his third and possibly last chance to win the world title, and he's really going for it. Good punches again. They probably don't hurt McKenzie, but they're all scoring.
Hey, don't hit him in the back. Don't hit him in the back.
McKenzie's finding trouble getting a clean shot at it.
Break.
Wide open, rangy style of McAuley is giving McKenzie all sorts of problems. Can't quite get the grips with it yet. That was a good right from McKenzie. That's the first really clean right-hand shot he's got at the man's head. But again, most of the action in that round came from McAuley. Well, we know that Duke's brother Clinton is watching this with us. What do you make of it, Clinton?
Well, Larry, it looks like it's going to be a very tough fight for Duke. He's finding Dave McAuley a bit difficult to find with his jab. I think what Duke's got to do is try and step up the next round, start stepping up the pace and bring his jab in. And he caught Dave there with a very good right hand over the top there a minute ago. So providing he gets that left hand going and starts bringing that right over, I think he should start having a bit more success.
Which of the two do you think is likely to have the more stamina?
I think Duke should have the more stamina because he's been fighting more regularly.
Right. Yeah. But he's always got to be careful because McAuley is a dangerous puncher.
Oh, he's very dangerous, Harry. Those body shots of him are wicked. I think Duke's got to get behind that jab, step the pace up, and start throwing his right hand a bit more, like he did a minute ago there.
Right.
Not this kind of bad. Not a wrestling match. Let's go.
The real problem here for McAuley could come from that eye. If McKenzie gets a clean shot at it, it could cause all sorts of problems. That's a good right hand again from McAuley. Quick to see the opportunity, shot the punch in.
Break out of there. Step back clean. Nice and clean. That's it.
First time McKenzie beginning to get his left jab accurately into the face.
Oh, you're tight. Stop punching. Step back.
Good referee. Randy Newman.
All right, it's enough of that. Go out there. Nice and clean. Great.
Mr. Newman getting plenty of work.
Right. Right, watch your head. Halt.
Getting a little messy.
Both guys, watch your head.
McAuley getting ticked off. Didn't obey the command to break. And was still punching. Certainly a grudge fight. McKenzie still has not got the grips for this.
Get yourself out of there. Oh, watch your head. Watch your head.
McAuley's variety of work is just finding McKenzie all the time. They come in from all angles. He's getting him into the body, occasionally to the head. And McKenzie's doing very little but tie the man up. We're getting told about his head now as well. He's been coming in with his head down more or less from the start. Four rounds gone, and not one of them could you really say McKenzie has won. So, this is a very, very interesting start for the challenger from Larne, about 20 miles north of Belfast, where he works as a chef in the indoors restaurant there. He's working with that iron, that piece of steel, to try and flatten out the bump that's coming there below the eye. I think there's a very slight cut underneath the eyebrow, but it hasn't bled. But it looks to me like a faint line across there. It might be an old scar, but that eye has looked red throughout. McKenzie unmarked, but I would think perturbed at the way things have gone in the first third of this fight. So McKenzie is going to have to come from behind. McKenzie defended this title against Tony DeLuca of the United States 3 months ago. It only went 4 rounds and was called off when DeLuca suffered a cut eye. He lives in Purley, McKenzie, and he took that fight only a few days after that terrible Purley train crash. And one of the carriages actually toppled down the embankment, almost into Duke's back garden, and he was there to help rescue survivors. Bore his way inside with the head down, trying anything to get through, because he certainly isn't scoring from long range. The more he stands off, the more he gets picked off. Like that. McAuley absolutely on top. Mark coming up underneath McAuley's other eye now. And again, the head going down as the champion comes in.
Get out of there, it's left. Get out of there.
Quality punching coming from McAuley.
I'm here. Get back to the plan. Quick! Let go.
Finishes that round on top once again, catching McKenzie almost at will. So 5 rounds have gone by now in which the champion has made no mark on this fight. The only marks made are on the face of McAuley, and that's probably come about through the clashes between the heads. Well, we've had 1 or 2 major upsets in big fights recently. Nigel Benn went down to Michael Watson, and the other day Barry McGuigan met his fate at the hands of Jim McDonald. And now, after 5 rounds here, we've got the makings of another big upset. Always McAuley, from long range, able to pick McKenzie off very easily. And a wonderful variety of punches too. Irish contingent already beginning to sense victory, but it's early yet. Good champions always pull out the best when they're in trouble. Almost halfway through this fight. And we're still waiting for the champion, really, to show us world title form. He's finding McAuley almost impossible to deal with. McKenzie very badly needs a few clean shots at McAuley at this stage, and he's not getting them. He's walking into punches. McKenzie picks up punches as he comes in, head down, he takes the punches on the bowed head. And they stare, or rather they glare at each other as they break off. And we're halfway through this fight. Clinton McKenzie, I don't know. Your brother, has he had trouble making the weight? He doesn't look quite as sharp as he might be.
No, he's made the weight perfectly well, you know. I think what Duke's got to do next round is really start digging deep. You know, he's got to realise that his title is slipping, and now he's got to prove his true championship material. He's finding Dave difficult to catch. I mean, Dave isn't sort of, he's not using his jab, he's just sort of, well, he's just throwing punches, and Duke's sort of walking into them.
Yeah.
He's got to start getting that jab and getting the right hand over. I think that's the deciding factor of this fight. You know, he's fighting the wrong fight.
You can see why McAuley gave Basser a hard fight the first time round. I mean, he is a difficult man to fight, isn't he?
Oh, definitely. He's got a very awkward style in it, you know, so he comes forward all the time. But, you know, I haven't given up hope yet. I think Duke can still win the fight.
Right. Never give up hope. Well, we have to remember that McAuley hasn't had a fight for, what, over 15 months. And that might tell in the long run. You never know. Both his men are former British flyweight champions. McAuley was Irish amateur champion back in 1980.
Oh, that's it. That's enough. Go back, kid.
McKenzie actually turned pro a year before McAuley. McKenzie said, Duke's got to dig deep now. He really does. He's a long way behind on my card. Doing anything inside, McKenzie. He's trying to work inside. Now he's got himself tangled up on the ropes, working away inside, but really the punches are just harmlessly going around the back of McAuley. And the moment they break off and stand apart, McAuley goes to work on him, and he's hurt McKenzie. And the world champion is in serious trouble in the 7th. And this could very well be the end of McKenzie's reign as champion in his 2nd defense of the title. Now McAuley was in this position with Fidel Basser and he didn't finish him. Can he do this? Can he do it this time against McKenzie? Hurt again. And going through a really terrible battering here. But still on his feet, still on his toes, showing immense courage, McKenzie, but going through the worst moments he's ever suffered in the ring. He survived it. McKenzie survives, but that's a tired champion who flops on the stool. Mickey Duff, his manager, saying to him, "You all right, son?" Well, he can't be too well after that battering. I don't know whether he can pull this out now. He came very close to defeat in that round. Well, we've got some trouble there with our replay. Try and get that to you in a moment. But you saw for yourselves what happened, and none of it was good news for McKenzie. But very good news for McAuley, who really is coming good in this fight, despite the setback of having a badly swollen eye at the start of this fight. He's come through all that. And now McAuley is on the brink of being world champion after 2 previous unsuccessful attempts. Can he at last make it? I rather think McAuley's pretty tired himself. He's done a lot of work. Right hand shot from McKenzie. McAuley's beginning just to look a little weary. It'd be quite amazing if this turned around the other way. Second time in his life McAuley has had a man very close to defeat in a world title fight. Second time he hasn't quite made it. There's still time to make it. But suddenly he doesn't look quite as confident. McAuley may have put so much into that previous round, he hasn't got too much left. I think McKenzie senses that. Certainly a change, McAuley. Very nearly through his man there. So, a glimmer of hope for McKenzie here, with 4 rounds still to go. And so, a sudden, dramatic, and for McAuley, a discouraging turn of events, because from being close to victory, suddenly he looked like a man who'd given everything and had little left. And he didn't win that round. So are we to see a dramatic turnaround in this fight, with McKenzie, one has to say, a long, long way behind, and came within a few punches of losing his championship in the 7th round. But now, renewed hope with 4 to go. And looking like a revived fighter too. Mickey Duff has obviously given him the huge pep talk. And it remains to be seen now how much strength he's got left. Can he pull his championship back? He'll get nowhere going inside like that. He's got to stand up and punch now, McKenzie. He's really got to stand up and connect. Well, this has turned into a very grueling championship fight indeed. One man's been on the verge of defeat, the other has almost seen victory and had it, well, at least momentarily, taken away from him, and McKenzie's coming back into it. Quite amazing if McAuley would have suffered the same trauma he went through against Basser in the first fight. Exhaustion beat him then, but it wasn't until the 13th round. This one will only go 12. McKenzie now, he's doing the only thing he can do. He's got to throw caution to the winds now and go for it. Nothing else left. I doubt whether he can win on points now. Now that was a deliberate butt from McAuley. The old head came up there inside. That's the first sign of foul play from McAuley throughout this fight. He's had McKenzie's head rubbing into his face for most of it, so he's kept his temper pretty well. So how is this going to turn out? Let's ask Clinton McKenzie. What about that 7th round, Clinton? It looked all up.
Yeah, it did, Harry, but Duke showed that, you know, he isn't going to give up the title without a good, hard fight. He realises that he's behind now, and he's starting to put things together. I still think that if Duke really starts concentrating, he can still land that big punch.
Do you think McAuley sold himself out going for it in the 7th?
Yeah, I think he did, because he looked extremely tired when he came out in the other round. He did look very, very tired. I think Duke has got to capitalise on that now and start bringing over, his best work.
But it can't be easy for him, can it? Because he's gone through a few tough rounds.
Yeah, but I still think he can do it, Harry.
Right. Well, we've got an interesting fight on our hands now. 3 rounds left. McKenzie, the champion, coming out against this extraordinary challenger, Dave McAuley. Only 16 fights behind him, McAuley. Just the one man who's ever beaten him as a pro, Fidel Bassa, the WBA champion.
Right, don't punch me, hold on, don't punch me, hold.
And McKenzie not only protecting his title, but protecting a 100% professional record. McAuley tying him up inside. McKenzie really has got to swing punches now. He's just got to keep throwing them. There's no doubt in my mind that the height and long arms of McAuley have played an important part in this fight. McKenzie's so used to having the reach advantage on people and hasn't had it here. And he hasn't ever quite coped with it. McAuley's found the second wind. Looks considerably happier now than he did 2 rounds ago. And now the pattern is back again. The pattern of earlier rounds, with McAuley finding long-range punches to pepper the champion with as he comes at him. And McAuley has still got the upper hand, with only 2 rounds to go. And now it's up to that corner, really, to keep the man's confidence high, to tell him that he's ahead and that he just needs to stand there and keep going. And he has to do that for another 6 minutes of action, and if he does, I think we'll find the title is his. But what will the world champion in the other corner do about it? Can Duke McKenzie find something in these last 2 rounds to turn what's been a losing battle so far into a win? It's going to take a lot of doing. This crowd beginning to sense now the drama building over these final 6 minutes. McKenzie trying these same tactics that he's tried over and over again in this fight, and being met with the same counter punches. McAuley's left eye is bleeding. I think it's below the eye, so it won't affect him too much. And it's a late stage in the fight now. He should get through all right with that. Once again backed on the ropes, lets fly with the better punches, gets caught with one good one. His left eye is bleeding. There's anxious cries from the McKenzie corner. Look at his eye. I don't think it's that bad. There's blood in the corner of the eye. McKenzie gets himself tied into knots trying to get at him. The blood's running down the side of McAuley's face, not into the eye. McKenzie walks into him, he gets caught again with a couple of punches at the end. And they're very quick to come and get McAuley to treat that eye. I don't think it's a serious cut. It's up in the corner and the blood was running down the side of his face. Well, Clinton McKenzie, I don't know. I think Duke's really got problems now, hasn't he? There's only one round to go and I think he's well behind.
Well, Larry, I'm afraid I'll have to agree with you. It's been an extremely hard fight for both men. But McAuley has done more work. Duke is trying very hard to hit with a straight shot. He caught him with a good left hand there.
Yeah, he did. That was a one good punch he caught him with that.
That's right.
He needs a few more of those.
Yeah, I still think, McAuley's been open to that punch from the first round. Just a shame that Duke hasn't found it, sort of earlier. But, Harry, as it is in boxing, anything could happen until the last bell goes.
Certainly can. And this is the last round. McKenzie, the champion, but possibly not for much longer, because on my card he's a long way behind against this extraordinary challenger from Larne in County Antrim, Dave McAuley, the man who's had 2 unsuccessful shots before at the world title, was sure he could win it from McKenzie, and maybe about to be proved right, unless McKenzie can find something in this final round. There doesn't seem to be much behind McKenzie's punches. But he's still trying. The heads rub again. Oh! And Mr. Newman very nearly caught one from the judge. A hard, bloody and bruising battle right to the final bell between these two. McKenzie swarming over his man, but not really finding him with punches. And McAuley still putting him in from all angles. Whichever way McKenzie turns, he seems to find a punch coming at him. But he hasn't given the title up lightly. He almost went out in the 7th, McKenzie, but he's still here in the 12th, and he's still looking for the win. And this is going to go to the judges by the look of it. And that didn't look possible at the start. Or indeed in the 7th. "30 seconds to go. Perhaps just 30 seconds away now from the moment when McAuley will become Ireland's first world flyweight champion since the late Rinty Monaghan in 1947. And McAuley finishes the fight much as he's fought it all the way, on top. They both lift their hands, but this whole place knows that McAuley has won this. I've got him a mile ahead on my card, a mile ahead. We have to wait for the judge's decision. Both corners have cheered their men. And certainly McKenzie deserves some cheers for a brave defence. But it really can only be the Irishman who takes the title. But we must wait until we hear the scores. Three American judges: Chris Wallison, Bernie Friedkin and Michael Gliena. And they're the men who will decide whether McAuley is the new IBF flyweight champion of the world. The other champions: Fidel Bassa of Colombia, the WBA champion, and Young Kang Kim of South Korea, the WBC champion. If McAuley's pulled this off, it's yet another of these astonishing turn-ups that championship boxing is going through at this moment. And now the result.
Ladies and gentlemen, the judges have scored a unanimous decision. Mike Gliena scores the contest 115 to 113. Bernie Friedkin scores the contest 117 to 110. Judge Chris Wilson scored the contest 115 to 113 for the new
McAuley, the new IBF World Flyweight Champion. He came so close against Fidel Bassa, so close. It was a terrible disappointment, but he's come through it, and now, in 1989, he is the champion, and the whole of Northern Ireland will celebrate after the disappointment of McGuigan's retirement only a few days ago.